In sports, the scoreboard doesn't tell the full story, but Netflix does. Stories about dads who happen to be world-class quarterbacks and a battle for the heart, soul, and direction of the multi-billion-dollar business of F1. Whether you're a diehard fan or you're brand new, Netflix has the stories for every type of fan. You can watch these incredible sports stories like Quarterback, F1 Drive to Survive, Untold, and many more now on Netflix.
Benjamin Betts. It's all about the Benjamin Betts, baby. You know what's up? Yes, Benjamin Betts, baby.
Here we go. Welcome back to the Benjamin Betts podcast. I'm your co-host, Corey. I'm with my co-host, Jared, and we're going to run through with you our picks for where are we at? Week 10 of the NFL season?
I think so. I think we're on week 10 because my fantasy team is 3-6, so that would make this week 10.
Your fantasy team is 3-6. Our league is wild though, man. 6 teams go to the playoffs. 4 of them are pretty much locked, and these last 2 spots, Jared, they're gonna get crazy.
That's gonna get wild.
You and I are part. Every person in our league is in the mix. The worst record's 3-6, so it's gonna be wild. But enough of our fantasy. We take it to real life sports betting. Week 9. Shall we? Are you okay if I recap our week 9 for the listeners here?
Please. This was what a week. Like what a week of football.
Man,
and if it directly affected us, but if you would have told me some of the outcomes of these games ahead of time, I'd have told you you're crazy.
This wild. I will disclose to the listeners here, we did not hit our parlay, but our 6-team parlay. We're going for the 6-teamer. But man, oh man, was this crazy because it was all over the place. So let me just do a quick recap for you. I'm gonna start off by saying we needed to avoid the Seahawks game. I told you I'm not picking them. We didn't go anywhere near it, and they got slaughtered 37-3. Just a disaster of a game. So just want to throw that one out there, but I did say let's not pick it. I'm just going to go down through this. So we do our 6-team parlay, and then I do the make the mortgage bet, which is a 2-team teaser. Okay. We needed the Falcons to win. We teased it down to 0 points. They just had to win the game. They were winning until about 15 seconds left in the game when the Vikings covered because their backup quarterback, who they just got off the trade, the waiver, or they traded for him, Joshua Dobbs, leads him down, scores a touchdown, which was just unreal, Jared. That game.
His whole game was unreal.
Just wild, man. If you were going to tell me he's going to come in and not know the names of his wide receivers and he leads a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter, so that screws not only our bet, but probably many people's bets. Just unfortunate. So
Vegas made a lot of money off of that game. They were
very happy. So then we go down to the surest bet of the day, which was the other half of the mortgage, which was the Browns. They were teased down to, I want to say, -3 in our make the mortgage bet. They won 27-0. They did what we said they would do.
Nothing wrong.
Backup quarterback, not going to do well in Cleveland. They have a good defense, no doubt there. So we were golden. We lost in the Falcons bet, so that sucks. But then we go down the Bears-Saints. We had Saints -7.5. They win by 7. Very, very crappy. The Bears just kept scoring random points. And the Saints.
Not to DJ Moore, they didn't. Not to DJ Moore, they didn't.
Not to DJ Moore. So we lose that by 0.5 point. Let's go on down to the next game. The Bucks at the Texans. We needed the Texans -3. And what happens? The Bucks score. The Texans then come back down and score to take the lead. And they have no field goal kicker, Jared. The field goal kicker is out. They go for 2. They don't even really attempt it. CJ Stroud just takes a knee. There's 6 seconds left. Nothing happens. And Texans win by 2. We needed it by 3. So we lost that by a point, which is ridiculous. Then we go Giants at Raiders. And this may be a little foreshadowing, if you will, for one of my picks. Giants at Raiders. Give me the under. And we took the under at 36.5. And you know what, Jared? We covered by a half point. It
There
was
it is.
36 total points in there. Raiders win 30-6. Sorry, Daniel Jones. Believe he tore his ACL in that game, so that really does suck. But we hit that by a half a point. Then we go down to one of your great picks, the Cowboys at Eagles, -3 for the Eagles. We cover, but oh my gosh, the Cowboys had 5 chances to
Oof.
win that game in the fourth quarter with a minute left on the 6-yard line. So, and actually, I think they were favored to win that game. Like odds said, Cowboys win at that point of it. Just
Yep.
Dak Prescott was
Yep.
Dak Prescott. And then another one, the Bengals, again, one of your great picks here. They end up winning by 6. It actually was a lot more. The Bills scored kind of a touchdown at the end that didn't really matter. So there really wasn't a lot of sweating there. So far we're 3-2 at this
And
point.
then comes Monday night.
Oh, and then freaking Monday night, where honestly, Jared, we were a half point on the Saints game. We were the stupid way the Texans didn't cover. We could have been 5-0 going into this game. Easy. We had the Jets Jets +3. Was it +3? I think we were getting some points here.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. The stupid Chargers defense, the punt return for a touchdown, 9 sacks. It's like they knew, oh, Corey's going up against this defense in his fantasy matchup, and it's close. Let's just make sure the Chargers defense does really well, because that's what ended up happening. The Jets were awful. They lose this game by 21, and we weren't even close to picking up that bet. So we go 3-3 on a week where it could have been 6-0. Could have maybe been 2-4.
Yeah, could have tilted the other way for sure.
But we go 3-3. That's my quick recap of week 9. It was just up and down. Wildness.
Wildness. And I'm here we come into week 10. We're past the halfway point, right?
Yep.
Like we're on the downhill.
Yep.
Teams are taking forms for the playoff. Nobody's sitting out yet. Key injuries here and there. But we've got some great games this week. I have a theme for this week, and we'll run with it. But would you like to kick us off, or would you like me to kick us off this week as we form our 16 parlay?
Why don't you kick us off? Why don't you start the ball rolling here? I'm curious where you're going to go first.
Listen, what have I done this year, Corey? I've avoided the big games where it's like where good meets good. Well, last week I got into that a little bit, but here I don't know who's winning games this week. There's one game that I know who's going to win. Like I just know. It's very obvious to me. Everybody else I'm over and under. So I've got 2 overs and an outright win, but I'm going to take some points just in case. But I think Cleveland Baltimore is the game of the week. I'm not afraid of this game. The line is set at 37.5. People are like defense. One of these teams is going to get this. This is an in-division game, and I don't think it's going to be like a stalemate. Like the Baltimore defense is good, the Cleveland defense is good, but also the Cleveland offense is good. I think Deshaun is back. The Baltimore offense is very good. Over 37.5 here.
Yeah, I think one of these teams could just cover that by themselves. I think Cleveland they have a really good defense too, but those Ravens are a better offense, and yeah, Cleveland can put up points. So I love that. I can't believe that's 37.5.
37.5. 28-20 Baltimore. Book it.
Yeah, kind of overlooked that. That's a nice pick. I'm going. I think I've probably picked this game in this stadium at least like 3 times this year, and I don't know why. But the Tennessee Titans with Will Levis, Jared, he is a real quarterback.
He is.
Tannehill is gone. That Tannehill will never step foot in a Titans stadium uniform, cleat. Like he's out. Will Levis is the real deal. I think the Bucks are a fine team. They put up points. I don't know who's going to win this game, but 38.5 felt really low to me. And I think the Titans with Henry, he's in form. Okay. He's in that midseason. The defenders are a little they don't want to hit him right now, and Henry's cooking, and there's a real quarterback for the Titans now. And the Bucks put up what 37 points, 36 points last week. I Give me 38.5 over
Yeah, I like that.
at Raymond James Stadium,
Love Raymond
Tennessee
James.
at the Bucks.
Love
I
Raymond
think
James.
I think this feels really, really good to me. I
That's a
think this
great
should have
pick.
been probably 43, 44 and a half, I would have thought. So 38.5, give me over.
Corey, let me ask you something. In the wild Western old movies, when the bad guy walked out into the middle of the road against the sheriff, what was that called?
That was called a showdown.
I'm
That
looking
that was
for a shootout. I'm
a
looking for a
shootout.
shootout.
We're going for a shootout. Okay. That is what that was called. Was that what that was called?
I'm calling it a shootout.
Okay,
Join
it's a
me
shootout.
in Los Angeles, Corey, for the shootout of the week as the
Oh.
well-rested
Oh,
Detroit
yes.
Lions meet the surging LA Chargers for what will easily be a 30-35 game as points get scored in this very temperate weather in Los Angeles. Take the over here, Detroit at LA.
If there was a wager to be had for like wackiest or like weirdest game, give me this one. I think there's going to be, I agree with you. I had the over on here too, 48.5, but I just think there's going to be like a pick six. There's going to be a safety. There's just going to be like a bunch of fourth down conversions. Like this is going to be a weird game. No idea who's going to win, but yeah, 48.5. Totally. I love that. No home field advantage for the Chargers. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored there. I'm totally with you. Those offenses are ready, are ready to cook. You know where offenses are not ready to cook, Jared? You know, there's a famous saying in a movie we love, oh, Tunica, Mississippi. That's where games go to die. And I'm gonna tell you, when the Jets played the Raiders for points, that's where points go to die, Jared. We saw poor Wilson, Zach Wilson. I don't know what he did on Monday Night Football. That was a disgrace, and maybe it's still fresh right now. All those sacks, and you have the Raiders who can rush the passer, but the Jets defense isn't terrible. You take away the punt return for the touchdown, and just the awful field position that the defense was given in that game because of all those sacks. The Jets defense really played the Chargers well. Their defense against Chargers offense. 36.5 feels very high to me in this game. Give me under 36.5. Knock on wood, the Raiders have not let me down on this pick. I think I'm 4-0 on the unders right now with the Raiders. It's going to keep happening. I know last week got very, very close. Under 36.5. I'm calling this game Jets win 17-13 would be my score. But I'm not picking the Jets under 36.5, but that's what the score is going to be.
Well, we're about to have a Benjamin bets first because we're going to take two bets in the same game.
Oh,
and I think
gosh.
you just have the score inverted, my friend, because what's happened in Las Vegas? They got rid of that Patriot trash head coach, and things are wild, baby, like they should be in Vegas. Everything's open. Things are happening. I agree. Jets defense good, like the under, but we're taking Raiders outright and under 36 in the same game.
Oh, I love it. I think this will be the parlay hit. Let's go. Is this a Sunday night game?
It's a Sunday night game.
Oh, baby. That is juicy. That is juicy. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Okay, I love it. I meant Raiders 17.
Raiders 7.
Jets
You just said
13.
it backwards. You said it backwards.
My bad. That's what it's going to be. Let me phone that one into to the league office real quick to make sure that happens. So, oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Is it my turn? I don't even know.
You got to wrap us up here.
All right. I'm a big believer in redemption, Jared. I think people make mistakes and there's redemption. And there's one game on the slate here that doesn't that Above them all, this says redemption to us based on last week. Saints at Vikings. Saints screwed us by a half a point. The Vikings screwed us by scoring that stupid late touchdown. I believe in the Saints. I believe in redemption. Saints minus 2.5, winning by a field goal in Minnesota. Give me Saints minus 2.5.
You're gonna give Dobbs the chance to do us again.
He will not do this again. That was luck. He comes in. That was beginner's luck. You've heard it over and over again. He had nothing to lose. That is the king game of nothing to lose. He comes in prepared now. Money will be flying on Minnesota. The New Orleans Saints, Jared, they're a good team. And this defense will travel. Derek Carr will travel. The field goal team will travel. They will beat Minnesota by 2.5, game-winning field goal. That's how the game ends. Game-winning field goal for the Saints.
Let me read. I just want you to hear with your ears what we have going right here, because I can't wait for the mortgage. But just a quick recap of this as we kind of go through the schedule. Noon, Saints, as you just said, going to Minnesota. Sorry, Dobbs. Prepared, you're no good. Unprepared, you're miraculous. I would probably send him on a vacation for a week and then just have him show up.
And then have him show up at the game.
Yeah. Show up for the game, let him run amok. But we're taking Saints minus 2.5. Titans, Bucks. I agree with you. Everybody in Tennessee was so mad when Will Levis was selected in the draft. And now he's cooking. And the Buccaneers with Mayfield are cooking. That doesn't belong in the same sentence, but there will be over 38.5 points here. Then we have the opposite. We have good versus good in the AFC, and things could get rowdy. They better. People say this is going to be a defensive game. They often are in this division. No, sir. Over 37.5 points. Two great offenses get enough done. Then we go into the midday. Detroit going into LA. Points. We love it. And then the pièce de résistance to finish up. 2 bets, 1 game. If we're 4-0 at this point, I will not talk to my family to watch all 3.5 hours of this game. 2 teams mucking it up. One has no quarterback. Both really don't have a quarterback, if I'm being honest. So we're taking the under, but the freedom that now comes in Las Vegas leads them to the victory. Money line, Raiders under 36.5 points. $10, Corey. $10. $468.87.
Oh my gosh.
Do you believe in week 10 of 2023? Do you believe, Corey Dixon?
I believe. I'm a believer. Come on. Hit the bet. If we are in line for that, I will wet my pants. I will disown anybody in my life at that moment besides you, and we're just watching this game.
Just texting. Just the emotional toll.
I think it was O'Connell. He's the Raiders quarterback. I'll get a jersey. I'll find one. I'll find one before the Sunday night game starts. Because that'll be amazing. Okay.
Oh me.
All right.
Too good.
Okay, you ready?
Good.
Are you ready for this mortgage? This one, I know the mortgage, the whole idea is to feel really good about it. And I want to hit these 2 in a row we lost last week. And that was a bummer because I think I'd actually already in my head been like, great, we're moving to, what would that have been? 5 and we would have been 6-3. Instead, now we're 5-4 through 9 weeks. So we are due
a win.
For a win. That's correct.
Yes.
The first half of this is super easy. The second half, I have to admit, I feel good about it, but I just want a Monday night pick. So
I was looking at that. I was like, there's no way he doesn't tease Buffalo down at home against Denver. There's no way.
And then I'm going to try to convince you of something. Okay, first, well, let me talk about that game first, since that was the one we just talked about. The Denver Broncos God bless them. I think they're trying. They, don't have a quarterback. Russell Wilson is inept a little bit, although statistically has been putting up some points this year. But when you can tease this down to -3 and Buffalo just has to win by a field goal, they last week was not a good week for them. They will come through here. This team is still a real deal. I think people are writing them off. Give me Buffalo -3. They're at -7.5 right now. We're gonna tease that down to -3. That feels really good to me. I think Buffalo, this feels like a sleeper game. They could score 50 points here at home against Denver. I think that feels like this kind of game. They have injuries, I get it, but on offense, Josh Allen is still there. Stephon Diggs is still alive. He's playing wide receiver. They can score. Give me -3 Buffalo. Then we go to the other side of the coin against the team they lost to last week, against the team that I think, oh my word, besides the Ravens, is probably playing the best football in the AFC, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. And I don't think people want to see this squad. They're playing at home against the Texans. It's +6. It's -6.5. Taking the Bengals here. We're gonna tease it down to -2. Win by a field goal. I'm on to the CJ Stroud hype. I think their young wide receiving core is obviously very talented. And I think they kind of have that thing going on right now, like the magic, the juju for the Houston Texans. But Cincinnati, they're in true form here. And just say -2 for Cincinnati, give me -2. So I'm taking Cincinnati, Buffalo in the 2-team teaser. We're getting 4.5 points here. So Cincinnati -2, Buffalo -3. Two teams that will be in the playoffs. We're going to put them in the mortgage. We're going to get this thing to 6-4, and we're going to keep making some money. And we're going to put a little Monday night pressure on board. Now, this is what I propose.
Hold on.
Are you doing what I already think you're doing?
Wait, it's Bill Gates calling in from Seattle. And he says, why is there not a Seahawks bet this week? He doesn't understand, Corey. He doesn't understand.
I'm scared right now. and it's in a world of uncertainty. This is a gambling show and we love to play our bets, but we try to make calculated decisions here based on our knowledge, skill, momentum, all the things that we put into our football watching, Jared, that we've been doing for a long time. I have no idea what's happening with the Seahawks. You roll the dice. That's what it is. I cannot, for our listeners and for charity and for ourselves, put any money down on these Seahawks. I can't do it. Won't do it. I would be doing you a disservice. I would be doing our fans a disservice, our charities a disservice, if I gave you any sort of pick on this Seahawks game. You tell me right now, they win by a point, I'd say, okay. They lose by 20, I'd say, Washington, Sam Howell, chewed us up. I get it. You could say this was a 10-9 game. Okay, I believe you. This is a 41-35 game. Okay, sure. I have no idea. I can't do it. I'm staying away. This is probably the first time in at least our podcast history on Benjamin Betts that I haven't picked him in 2 straight weeks. I can't do it, Jared. I got to stay away.
I was ready. I was ready for.
No.
I thought I had it figured out. I said, well, he's going to take Buffalo -3. Like, who wouldn't? And then I was like, that's son of a gun. He's going to take Seahawks -1.5. Wow. No. I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you right now.
When the Texans are at the Bengals and we're getting -2 on a tease, we got to take it. I feel like that's the lock. That's the lock of the whole week as far as a tease goes, because I just think the Bengals are the real deal at home. The Seahawks, I have no idea what we're doing. I don't know. Washington last week, I know they were in a crappy game against the Patriots, and they squeaked out a win. I think they could come into Seattle, and I have no idea what's going to happen here. Can't do it.
Okay.
It just doesn't feel right to me, and I don't know what we're doing. It doesn't smell right. The team, something's off right now with our team, with the Seahawks.
I'm kind of I'm in a state of shock. To all of our
I'm
listeners
sorry.
of Minnesota Shock, it's okay. It's good. It's good. Maybe that's the secret sauce to putting together an 8-0 week. Who knows? We will find out. Uh,
Well, what would the 8-team teaser be? Or
oh,
8-team parlay?
well,
If you put all that together,
I
if you put
can't
the mortgages.
I can't tease and not tease.
No, no,
So
no, don't tease, don't tease. Don't
okay,
tease. If you just threw it all together into an 8-team parlay.
okay. So if I'm taking
So we're going
Cincinnati minus 6.5, and I'm
yeah.
also taking Buffalo minus 7.5, $10 is going to win you almost $1,700.
Oh, baby. I'm not saying you do it, but people, come
Those are
on now.
those are
Come
facts.
on now. I know you want it. I know you want it. Let's go. Throw that down. But
Oh my
yeah, I was
goodness.
saying
Well,
we'll
Corey,
show restraint. We'll show
so yeah, we're
restraint.
sure we're saying. Let me ask you this: basketball, we're what, 7, 8 games, 6, 7, 8 games into the season. How are things
Yeah.
looking in the NBA?
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a losing streak right now. I'm not gonna lie to the public. Not gonna lie to the public. It's not great. It's 3-5 right now. Not fantastic. So we're just gonna take a little breather today, which was nice because there were no games today. And so tomorrow we'll come back at it, bushy eyed and wide eyed, or whatever the phrase
I think
is.
it's like
And
wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
we'll do that. We'll do that one too. We'll do that one too. It's just been a weird, unpredictable season. It's been very odd so far. So we're gonna hang. Last Sunday night, was it Sunday night? It might have been Monday. Sunday night. Memphis at Portland, took Portland. I've tried to stay away from the Blazers, but it looked good and was plus 7.5 and felt really good about that. We're up 98-88. 98-88. I was like, this is great. We're going to, beautiful. And I think we scored 2 points the rest of the game and lost by 12. So, you know, don't understand. Don't understand. And we're just going to lay low for a minute. So we took today off. We took Monday off. I didn't make a bet Monday either. So took Monday off, took Tuesday off. We'll come back tomorrow. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Last season started hot and then got cold. I think this year we start cold, then get hot. That's what I'm
I
thinking.
respect that. I respect
I'm
that.
gonna do like a I had like a little template made that I'll put the NBA bets on, and we'll put it up on Instagram. So you can follow our Instagram, at Benjamin Bets Podcast. And that's where I'll put them every week. But I just figured let's take a couple of days off. Let's get that ready. I'll input them, throw them up on Instagram so we have, so people can follow along with us and see what bets
I
that
like
we're
that.
making there. So that's kind of what I was saying. Let's take a pause. Let's take a
I
pause.
like that. Well, you heard it
So
here. There, nothing really happening on the esports front. We're down to our final 4 teams in the League of Legends championships. We've
yeah,
got 3 Chinese teams and a Seoul Korean team, home team left. Uh, I'm all in on T1, man. I want to see it.
yeah.
This is like Tom Brady in Tampa. It feels like, Faker's been kept out of the finals for a while. And this is, in my mind, he has the 1, 2, and 4 seed of China left. He'll play the 1 seed this weekend, see who wins the 2, 4 seed. But in our knockout bracket stage, Faker in this season could literally go through the 1 through 3 Chinese seeds. What a story that would be for
Well,
T1 to finish that up.
and we were talking about, he's done everything in League of Legends you can do. But this would be a pretty big feather in his cap. I mean, would you say this would be his ultimate accomplishment if he was able
Yeah, I
to
think
get them
so,
to the finals?
because we're kind of past the prime, right? Uh, People still respect Faker, but he isn't the team anymore, right? It's not
Mhm.
like Faker's going to hard carry, but this roster is playing so well together right now. But they are running into the tournament number 1 seed here, and they look good. Good, 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 good. This is the series we've all been waiting for. And honestly, if T1 don't come out on top of this, I probably won't watch JDG play another Chinese team for the championship. It just doesn't. It's like,
Yeah.
well, whatever. So,
The line for game 1, JDG SK Telecom T1. It's close. -1.5 kills. JDG is favored. -1.5. This is close. Game 2, -2.5 JDG. And game 3, -2.5 JDG. This is a 5-game series. So that's why we have the first 3 games odds are up. But that's wild. Kills are pretty low. 21.5.
Yeah,
That's not a big number.
It's gonna be a control game. It's dancing, Corey. It's a dance. It's not a fight. It's a dance when it comes to these two teams. But if I was a betting man, I watched KT take game 1 off of JDG in the quarters and then come back. I would take +1.5 SKT in game 1. I think they're iterating very well right now with their champ select and with their strategies. I think this thing goes all the way to 5, and my heart says pick T1, but if you're a bettor listening to this, take JDG.
Well, you know what's interesting is you get +335 for JDG winning 3-2. And then you get +410 for SKT winning 3-2. You could hedge here and put money on each and actually still come out on top.
Still come out on top, yeah.
Not a bad play there. So you're just hoping for a 5-game match,
and you walking away with some cash, baby.
And you're walking away with some cash. So that could be an interesting bet for some folks. Not saying you do it, but could be interesting. So I don't know. Maybe we throw a little bit on it. Do you want to know what the other one is real quick?
I don't know what or is it LNG or BLG Weibo?
Beebly Gaming versus Weibo Gaming. Beebly, are we saying that right?
I think it's BLG. Yeah, LNG lost to SKT.
No, it's Wait, what? In the other quarters or in the other semis?
Yeah. I think. Wait, I may have it backwards. I always get these two teams.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have their full name.
Yeah.
Right. It's LNG. No,
it's BLG. BLG versus
BLG. Sorry, BLG, because they have a weird name. Game 1 favored. Who do you think's favored?
Oh, for sure, BLG is favored in this series.
Okay, you are correct.
Yes,
minus 5.5.
Yeah,
game 1, and then 4.5 in the other 2 games. So let's play our little trick. Oh yeah, you can still hedge here. +355 for a 5-game series for Beebly, or +500 for Weibo. So
it's I hope that either Weibo or T1 win this all. I could care less if BLG or JDG take this home.
All right, you heard it here, folks. That's what we're going for. The miracle run by SKT, but JDG could easily just take this thing. The favorite for the darn thing. So who knows? Tune in if you want to stay awake to what time? 3 in the morning?
3 in the morning, 2 a.m. Saturday morning.
There you go. We know you have nothing better to do.
That's coming Central Standard Time.
Coming home from the bar Friday night, late night,
if I was a West Coast guy, I'd stay up. Midnight, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh yeah, midnight, not a big deal. Central, little late.
Little late.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens. All right. That's our show, man. We feel good. Is this going to be the parlay?
I'm hoping. It's a wacky one. It's wacky.
Yeah, it feels good to me. So we'll see. And maybe Scotty Wynn is watching our show and listening. You call us over, baby. You call.
It's going to be all over, baby. Let's go. We will see you all next week for week 11 of NFL. Some updates on NBA, and we'll see who's in the finals of LOL Esports. Until next time, this is Jared and Corey with Benjamin Betts.
Yeah.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
and we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't right, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.